Okay, hi everyone, a good day to everyone. So this video, we're going to look at word problems involving quadratic equations, right? So solving quadratic equation is one of the important skills that we need to have as a math student. However, the higher order thinking, the one step further is how do we form equations from context, and how do we use this in how do we get the equation from our context to form a quadratic equation and solve them after that, right? So in this particular video, we're going to address the planning, the what do you call this, the extracting the equation from the questions based on the context. All right, so without further ado, let's look at question 1 over here. Okay, so question 1, we have two consecutive positive even numbers such that the sum of their squares is 164. Find the two numbers over here. Alright, so we have two consecutive positive even numbers. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to let, right, x be the first even number, and the next even number would be x plus 2, right? Plus 2, right, will be the next even number. Be the two numbers, right? So x and x plus 2 will be the two even numbers. The sum of their squares is 164, means x square plus the second number square, so the sum of these two numbers square is 164. So this is how I form my equation, right? The sum of their squares 164, x square and x plus 2 square, the first number square, second number square, right? So we don't need to always rely on x and y. We try our best to express this in as one variable. Okay, so let's try to expand this square over here. So if you remember, a plus b square is equals to a square plus 2ab plus b square. So if you can recognize this and you can use it well, so this would be a square plus, okay, a is x, so 2 times x times 2, so this would be 4x, then 2 square would be 4, equals to 164. So let's organize a bit. So we have 2x squared, simplify our like terms, 4x and minus 160 is equals to 0. Okay, so then 2, 4, 160 are even numbers, so let's make our life easier to divide by 2 on both sides. So divide by 2, divide by 2, divide by 2 is equals to 0. So now we can factorize this. Okay, we can factorize this. Okay, you can just try to factorize, yeah. Okay, so up to you, you can try to factorize, but when I factorize, I have something like x minus 8 and a x plus 10 equals to 0 over here. Okay, so when you factorize, you will see something like this. So then using how we solved last time, this is x minus 8 equals to 0, or x plus 10 is equals to 0. Okay, so what we have over here would be x is equals to 8 as our first answer, x equals to negative 10 as our second answer over here. Okay, so now then we need to read the question again. Are all our solutions the answer to this particular question? We check. So let's read again. So two consecutive positive even numbers. The numbers must be positive even numbers, right? So when we have positive even numbers, one number is positive, so this solution is correct. This number is negative, so means we need to reject this number. Reject, right? And the reason we reject is because x is a positive number. Okay, x is a positive even number already given in the question. So x equals to negative 10 cannot be our solution for this question, even though we solve it, but it cannot be the solution for this particular question. So if x is 8, now the second number x plus 2 is equals to 10. So the conclusion that we can write is the two numbers are, okay, 8 and 10, like that. Okay, so once again, so back to x equals to 8. So x plus 2 is equals to 10. So because we have x and x plus 2, the second number. Okay, so the two numbers are 8 and 10. Okay, for question 2. Right, for question 2 of this practice now 5, we have the difference between two positive numbers is 5 and the square of the sum is 169. Find the two numbers. So instead of relying on two variables, let's try to figure out how can we write things in one variable. So over here, catch this. The difference between two positive numbers is 5. So if the first number is x, the second number with a difference of 5 will be x plus 5 or x minus 5, up to you, right? For me, I'll choose x plus 5. Okay, so this one, so let these two be the two numbers. Okay, the square of their sum is 169. So we add them first. Let's sum them up first. Sum them up, right? And we square them, equals to 169. Be careful of the language. The square of their sum and the sum of their square, different, huh? Sum of their square was question 1. This one is the square of their sum. So we sum up first and we square it later. So over here we can simplify this like this. 169. Okay, then what do? We can expand, right? Expand this. So we'll expand this using a square plus a plus b square, the identity. So this would be a square plus 2ab plus b square. So how do we expand? So 2x squared. So 2 square is 4x squared is x square. Now 2 times 2x times 5 will give me 20x. 5 square is 25. So this is 169. So let's do this. 4x squared plus 20x. Shift the 169 over here. So I have minus 144. Next, 420, 144 are all factors of 4. So on the left, let me divide by 4. On the right, let me divide by 4. So 4x squared divided by 4, 20 divided by 4, 144 divided by 4 to get this. Okay, so when we factorize, we have an x minus 9 and an x plus 4 over here. Okay, so once we have this, will be x minus 9 equals to 0, or x plus 4 equals to 0. So how do we solve this? We expand this. Okay, so over here x is equals to 9 or x equals to negative 4. Now, so check again. Let's read again. We are having difference between two positive numbers over here. You see this? So the a 9 is a positive number. This is not a positive number. So we need to reject. Right? Reject because x is a positive number. X should be a positive number. Okay? Alright. So over here, x is equals to 9. So the two numbers are... Okay, let me write down the conclusion. Oh wait, x equals to 9 back here, right? We have x plus 5, right? So the other number is x plus 5 is equals to 14, right? So the two numbers are... the two numbers are 9 and 14. Okay, so this is our answer, 9 and 14. Alright? Okay, alright, so let's take a look at this question over here. Alright, so for exercise 5a, right, question 17, we have a rectangular field 70 meters long and 50 meters wide, is surrounded by a concrete path of uniform width. Okay, so given that the area of the path is 1024 meters, find the width of the path. Okay, so over here we have details of a rectangular field. So we have 70 meters long and 50 meters as the wide, right? 50 meters wide, right? Is surrounded by a concrete path. So around the field you have a concrete path of uniform width. Okay, so now given that the area is 1024, find the width of the width. So given that the area of the path over here, right? So the area of the path for the gray color part is 1024 meters square, right? So we need to find the width. So how do we find the width actually? Now, we need to first let because it's uniform width, right? So let x be the width of the path, okay? And it's a uniform width, right? So means that it's going to be consistently wide throughout the whole path. You see that? So means that this one over here is going to be x, this one over here is going to be x, this over here is going to be x, this over here is also going to be x. So this is what the uniform width means. Okay, can now with this in mind, right, so what is going to be the area of the path? So imagine the area of the path would be, right, the area of the path would be this big rectangle minus a smaller rectangle is going to be equals to 1024, correct? So the big, what's the dimensions of the big rectangle? So it will be, now will be this one, right? So it will be 70 plus x plus x. You see this? 70 plus x plus x. So this will be 70 plus 2x. Now, for the second one over here, this is 50 plus x plus x. So this is, on the side, will be 50 plus 2x. Okay, for the small one, it will be 70 and 50. Okay, equals to 1024. So let us form this equation over here. So the area of a rectangle would be 70 plus 2x, 50 plus 2x, then minus of 50 times 70 is equals to 1024. So this is our equation that we want. We will form over here. Okay, so this is the area of the shaded, the gray color part. Okay, so let us expand slowly. So 70 times 50 would be 3500. 70 times 2x would be 140x. 2x times 50 would be 100x. 2x times 2x would be 4x squared. So minus 3500. This will give me 1024, yeah, area. Okay, so let's try to simplify this. I have 3005 minus 3005 that will cancel off each other. I have a 4x squared plus 240x equals to 1024. Now take note, yeah, 4, 240, 1024, they are all multiples of 4. So let me divide by 4 on the left, divide by 4 on the right. So over here, 4x squared divided by 4, 240 divided by 4, 1024 divided by 4. Then, because this is a quadratic equation, shift everything to the left. Okay, shift everything to the left. On one side, the other side will be 0. Must do so. Okay, so let's try to solve this equation over here. Okay, so when you factorize this, I have a x minus 4 and a x minus 64 over here. Okay, so over here, x is going to be equals to, so x minus 4 equals to 0, so x equals to 4, or x minus 64 equals to 0, x equals to 64. Now let's take a look at the question over here and see which answer makes sense. So with x equals to 4, this is 4, this is 50, this is 4, correct? Just nice. Okay, so it makes sense, right? Even horizontally, 4, 70, and 4. Okay, quite nice. Okay, let's take a look at the next one over here. Now, if x is equals to 64, does it make sense? So this would be 64 over here, 70 and 64. Does it make sense? No, it doesn't make sense, right? So if this is 64, the other side 64 is like way too much already, correct? So we need to reject this second answer because it doesn't make sense for the second answer. So the width of the path is going to be 4 meters. Okay, so conclusion, the width of the path is 4 meters. So this is our answer. The 4 is going to be our answer for this question. Okay. Okay, let's continue on to question 18. So question 18, the length of a side and the corresponding height of a triangle is x plus 3, 2x minus 5 cm respectively. Area of a triangle is 20 cm square. Find the value of x. So let's first sketch our triangle to make sense of it. Okay, so now we have got our triangle ready. So the length of a side, so this side will be x plus 3, correct? The corresponding height means the height related to this length is going to be 2x plus 5. Right? So the length is x plus 3, height is 2x plus 5. So area of the triangle is 20. So half times the base times the height is going to be 20 cm. Okay? Right, so let's form our equation over here. So we have half. The base is going to be x plus 3. The height is going to be 2x plus 5. So this is going to be equals to 20. So we have formed the equation already. So let's now try to solve the equation. So let's get rid of the half first to make our life easier. So I'm going to times 2 on the left, times 2 on the right. So times 2 on the left, half times 2 is just 1. So the rest would be just this. Okay, 20 times 2 will be 40. So let me expand. So 2x, okay, so over here, x times 2x, x times 5. So I have a 2x square plus 5x. And then 3 times 2x, 3 times 5. So plus 6x plus 15. This will be equals to 40. Right? So let's simplify over here. So I have 2x squared plus 11x plus 15 on the left equals to 40 on the right. So minus 40, shift the 40 over, right? So I have a negative 25 on the left over here. So this is the one that I've got. Okay, apologies. I have made an error. And the error affects quite a lot. So this is 2x minus 5, 2x minus 5, 2x minus 5. So it'll be minus, 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 and minus over here. Yes. Okay. So the final one, this would be minus 55. Okay. So minus 55 over here. Okay. So with this in mind, so let's factorize. So when I factorize, right, I get something like a x minus 5 and a 2x 2x plus 11 equals to 0. Okay, something like this. X minus, oh wait, so it's not 11x, it's going to be 1x over here. Yeah. Okay, 1x over there. Okay, so with this, right, so we have x minus 5 equals to 0, or 2x plus 11 equals to 0. So x is equals to 5. 2x equals to negative 11. X equals to negative 5.5. Correct? 5.5. Now, the thing is, now let's take a look. Now, which one do we reject? Right? So x equals to 5. This one confirm can. So this is confirm our answer. Now, the other one, x equals to negative 5 over 2. Okay. So let's see. Oh wait, sorry. Let me backtrack a bit. Let's check. Okay, so when x equals to 5, so now check the length. Okay, let's check. So x plus 3 is 5 plus 3. So this will give me 8. 2x minus 5. So this would be 10 minus 5. So this will give me 5. So it is okay. The height and the lengths are okay. The sides and the heights are okay. Alright, let's check for this one over here. Okay, so x plus 3, and let's check for 2x minus 5. So x plus 3 will be negative 5.5 plus 3. So this will be negative 2.5, if I'm not wrong. Right, negative 2.5. And then 2x minus 5 will be negative 11 minus 5. This will be negative 16. So we have to reject this. Okay, reject because the lengths must be positive. Right, lengths are usually a positive quantity. So the lengths must be a positive number. Okay, so our final answer is x is going to be equals to 5. So what are we looking for? Calculate the value of x. So x is equals to 5. Okay, so this is question 18. Okay, so now let's look at 19, right? 19. We have a piece of 44 wire 44 cm long cut into two parts. So let me draw two wires over here. All right. So each part is bent to form a square. So let me form a square. Okay, so over here I formed two squares. So given that the total area of the two squares is 65 cm square, find the perimeter of each square. Okay, sure. Now, so before we start, right, so let us use a smart way to think about this. Now, so let's think, so let's say if you were to start with 44 cm long, and this is going to be x meters long, correct? So this would be 44 minus x, right? Right? So what we have would be each of the side would be x over 4 and x over 4. So this is a x over 4 square. This one divided by 4 will be 11 minus x over 4 and 11 minus x over 4 when we divide by 4. Okay, so when we deal with fractions, it's going to be very uneasy, correct? Total area of the two squares. So we have an x over 4 square plus 11 minus x over 4 squared. Wow, very uneasy with the fraction over there. Okay, so instead of that, right, let us choose a smarter way to label our quantities so that we have an easier time to deal with the quantities over here. Okay, so if we were to use x as the length of the smaller square, right, so means the length of the wire is the perimeter, right? So it's going to be 4x for the first one. Okay, so because of that, the other part of the wire would be 44 minus 4x for the second wire. Okay, and when you bend the wire to the four parts, you divide by 4, so this would be 11 minus x and 11 minus x over there. Quite nice, right? So now it looks much more friendlier. Okay, so the total area of the two squares, meaning x square plus 11 minus x squared, the area is equals to 65. Okay, the area is equals to 65. Okay, so can you see this? The area is 65. Okay, so let's use this to find the perimeter of each square. So let's solve for x first. Okay, so on the left I have x square. Now I'm going to use a plus b square, a square plus 2ab plus b square. Otherwise you can expand slowly. Okay, so this would be a square plus 2 times 11 times negative x, so negative 22x plus x squared is equals to 65. Okay, so let me get rid of this. Okay, so otherwise you can do this 11 minus x, 11 minus x, and then you expand. Okay, expand, 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 expand. You still get the same thing. Okay, alright, so let's do this. So on the left I have a 2x squared minus 22x plus 121 equals to 65. Okay, so let's bring the 65 over because we need to make one side 0. Okay, so over here will be 60. Okay, and on the right hand side I have my 0. Okay, 2, 22, 60 are multiples of 2. So let me divide by 2 on the left, divide by 2 on the right. So over here I have x squared minus 11x plus 30 is equals to 0. Okay, so with this, let me factorize. Okay, let me factorize over here. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, sorry, my bad. Okay, so this one, 121 minus 65 is actually 56. Right, 56 divided by 228. So I have x minus 7, x minus 4 equals to 0. So x equals to, okay, x minus 7 equals to 0. Okay, so first factor equals to 0. Then the second factor equals to, or x minus 4 equals to 0. So x equals to 7, x equals to 4. Okay, will be my two answers over there. Okay, so with this one, okay, so let's see. So the perimeter of the smaller one would be 4x. So 4x would be equals to 28, right? and then 44 minus 4x would be 44 minus 28 would be equals to 16. Okay, now let's check for the other one over here. Now 4x, which is the perimeter of the smaller square, is going to be 4 times 4 is 16, and 44 minus 4x will be 44 minus 16 will give me 28. Okay, so just nice, right? Just nice. The perimeter of each squares, okay, so the perimeters are, okay, without any change in order will be 16 cm and 28 cm. So either two of these things over here. Alright, so this comes to the end of the video for the problem solving part for quadratic equations. Alright, now solving quadratic equation is one skill that you need to have. To be able to form the equation is the second skill that you need to have. So in this video, hope that you've learned some tricks on how do we form the equation, so that you will get to you get to how to call this, you get to form them well, and you get to solve the equation in steadily, and you get to solve a lot of real world problems after that. Okay, alright, so have a good day everyone. So yeah, all the best and try your best to finish the exit pass. Okay, that's all.